What's going on? It's your brother Dewayne, and I feel led to come and talk and share some wisdom with my brothers and sisters. Not earthly wisdom per se. Y'all know how we roll over here on this platform. This platform is dedicated to those who have been awakened, who are in tune with their creator and know the time. You know what time we in. That awakening, we should see evidence that you are growing, learning, growing, and establishing your position as a kingdom, your position in God's kingdom. Yes. Sitting here making me a sandwich as I begin to go about my day. I'm sitting up listening to the word, checking a few videos out, seeing the direction a lot of our people are going in, which is a good thing. They woke, you dig? Black folk have awakened. But in that awakening, I found so many proponents, different proponents to it that we can tap into. And I feel that if we don't focus there, we'll stay stuck in this like a rat race to tell the story of how the nation who we live in, how America is in decline, going into decline. How America is in decline or going into decline. Certain aspects of it, which is true. But that don't mean you have to go under because it's going under. You know, it's what the Messiah meant. Like being in the world, but not of the world, meaning not partaking in its systems. You know, you can build, create, and build your own system, financial systems. Think about it. Everybody's talking about a recession and how the nation's declining, de-dollarizing, which we can see that there will be effects on this nation caused by the de-dollarization and other things that's taking place. We have to be truthful and honest, man. You have to be truthful and honest with yourself, especially in this day and time. You can't get caught up in lights, camera, action, and all this theatrical bullshit you see a lot of people putting on that's still moving like it's just business as usual. They not paying attention to the signs, which are clear. They're evident. You see the nation's de-dollarizing. They have been doing that. I've been watching it go on for the last 2.5, 3 years with some of our biggest debt holders, like Japan, like Saudi Arabia. Like, it's not a joke. When you hear that term, de-dollarization, that means something. That means the nations, and what that means is these nations, in order to do business through the petrodollar, meaning Saudi Arabia, one of the biggest oil producers, one of the biggest, decided to use the dollar as a form of exchange to purchase oil. And it boomed on a world scale, which gave America a lot of power, family. Not just America, but the Arabs too, which is giving them a lot of power. But if you notice, the same Arabs are de-dollarized. Yeah, they still have investments in America. America is in their portfolios. Let's not be ignorant. Yes, America is in their portfolio. When you look up who owns Google, who owns uh, Facebook, and all these other sites and these businesses and corporations, family, the Arabs have a percentage of ownership. That's why these companies, when they went public to trade, they had shareholders who invested in to back and ensure to put the money behind it so that it could become a success. So you have the same thing going on in Africa, and I think we need to pay attention because in lieu of all these events happening where you have these major nations, major mineral producers. I hear Trump talking this, we produce this, we got that, we got this, we got that. Okay, some of us may have, but overall, not all of us, buddy. Not like because America doesn't invest in producing its own. It outsources to maintain control. It's not a conspiracy, it's the truth. You gotta stop labeling everything as a conspiracy. Me and my brother was talking about that, and I'm like, well, my point being, us that are awakened, we pay attention, family. That's the point I'm making. And I've been paying attention to the de-dollarization movement for years. And the nations that are de-dollarizing are resource nations for America. These nations are growing because they've taken the time, they stopped accepting the debt, and they're using their own resources, natural resources, to produce wealth. Such places like Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, everybody wants to stay stuck on talking about, oh, they kicked France out of there, they're kicking Americans out of there. Families, they've been opened their borders, they've been came with the free trade agreement. So with that, there are measures they need to put in place to ensure that their business will be successful and will prosper. It can't, like I was having a conversation with me and the brothers. And like I always say towards politics, okay, if you're going to get involved in it, understand it's a business. And if you don't invest in it, when you send your politician up there, he's going to need money. And if you don't invest in him with your people and their businesses collectively, where we can send him up there with agendas to push our agendas in his measures. So put the money behind it. You forget about it. People don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear that. People talk crazy about that. And I'm like, well, eventually, eventually it'll come to them. That's why. Look at what you hear in the news every day. Every day you hear about black people complaining because politics, because this institution, because Trump doing this, Trump doing that. Okay, if you into politics, why are you got the question, I have to question, why am I into the political movement? Does it prosper me to be a part of it? Am I invested in it where it's going to bring a return that will prosper me and my, dependents? No, no, no. There's a lot that's going on people don't want to admit, such as like when we come on here with the awakening. So if I was asleep and these governments were during this snooze period able to control and operate things to their advantage while I was asleep, eyes wide shut, well, that means the tables are turning on that. Now I'm putting myself in position to be in control of my own growth and development. And whatever I choose to be a part of, I can work for, or I can do business myself. I have that option. And I've always, anyone know me, they know. And what gives me the power to ensure that? Because I have a trade skill to offer. I'm not trying to sell you somebody else's products, although there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, I'm trying to sell you to start looking at other nations who are natural earth producers. Their nations produce natural minerals, earth minerals, that we need. You heard the president talking about buying Denmark. Why? Because of the natural resources. You've seen him over there and talk with the president of that nation over there that's at war with Russia. For what? Natural resources. Well, that equates to if you know better, we know why what happened, but we know as a result of what happened to our ancestors. Well, these nations that came in and colonized them, they came in and colonized them for what? And it matters today for the resources, for the land, the natural earth minerals that you hear the president today talking about. Not only the minerals, but the people that knew how to produce them, who knew how to aggregate them. They don't know nothing about them. So they needed to have them. Not only did they need your resources, they needed your expertise. Notice when we were brought over here, we built this motherfucker. We didn't go to no school. You know, we didn't go to none of their schools to be trained to build nothing, to produce nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now, after over a course of time, yeah, they implemented allowing us going to school to learn their ways. But you were still inventing. Us inventing didn't stop. Basically, everything you got in there. I got a list of inventions that the black man and woman invented. Then we know there's a greater that you couldn't patent because you couldn't go down there in the condition that America had you in, a state of perpetual slavery at the time. So you wasn't going down to the U.S. patent office and patenting nothing. But we know that you did these things. We know these things have been done. So these are the people in the lands that produce the wealth of the world. And in lieu of what's going on, you don't have to be caught up. We awaken now. We know what Africa is doing. We know what it possesses. We know its power. There's no secret. But how does that work? Excuse me. How does that help us? Well, now that Africa's in control of the land and the resources, such places like the Sahel region. Now, they are the planters and manufacturers. Which they are producing wealth, natural wealth. It's why. Now they produce their own wheat. You need wheat to produce a lot of stuff. They producing their own rice. Excuse me, y'all. Hold on. There are a whole wealth of natural resources that they're starting to manufacture and produce and manufacture themselves, which empowers them. Which create wealth, long-term wealth and prosperity for Burkina Faso. Congratulations to them. They don't need us to produce nothing or manufacture nothing for them. So that means America's role and access to these minerals, the livelihood of it is getting shorter and shorter. But that don't mean you have to go down with a burning ship. And then a lot of people want to act like they don't understand what's going on, what the Bible is speaking, because you have to tie the Bible into all of this to make it make sense. It's not about religion, it's about God's word. God is the king of the universe, the creator. So when he speaks his word, him being the spirit, his word establishes a law. That law meaning how things should operate. Establishes how things should operate. That's who the Most High creates success. So when you follow the instructions of the command of his word, his law, it produces a harvest in return. Just like if you follow the ideology of a gangster, say John Gotti, if you follow his philosophy, you're going to reap the rewards of those seeds you planted. No matter what theory, doctrine, or means you use, you plant the seed, whether it's positive or negative. That's my point. You plant the seed, it's going to bring forth the harvest. To that seed you planted, which is coming straight at you, baby. Africa are planting seeds, growing agriculture, processing and manufacturing their own earth minerals, which is bringing wealth to the nation today as we speak. A lot of those companies that were in there extracting the wealth and producing and bringing it back, they have been cut off. They have been cut off. So that opens the door, opportunity, not just for the land, but you see the president of that land calling to your people today. The Americans that was scattered out of Africa, you can go over there and get free citizenship, which opens the door of opportunity and finance. You don't have to keep your money connected to the corporation. You connect your dollar to Burkina Faso mining gold process. You can invest in that. You can invest in their medical sector. You can invest in their agriculture sector. They have a lot of infrastructure, institutional-wise, that they have built and put their people in play. They have educated them. They have taken control of renting the land out. Ain't no more renting the land out. They probably got contracts with companies, but they're doing manufacturing and processing themselves, which create jobs for their youth. But to the African American, they extended to an olive branch. So instead of steady looking at a fallen nation, that these major players are cutting off, you can become a world citizen. That's why we watch the World Economic Forum to see what the world is doing in terms of economics, where you can in turn take these tools yourself and apply them right now. You can decouple yourself from a burning system, invest in Africa, producing and mining its own resources, and prosper 10 times more. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to show you the results. I will be back to share them with you. So while brothers and sisters wasting time listening to these politicians, powers that shouldn't be, I'm going to go and test this thing out. Because I see it's something. I'm led by the Spirit, and I see something. I don't got to get caught up in the world's hoopla. Oh no, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. Shut the hell up. Your politicians doing it. China's doing it. Russia's doing it. Saudi Arabia's doing it. Iran is doing it. They just did a contract with Iran to produce nuclear plants with Russia. No, Iran, they had them to make them the drones, unmanned drones. Oh, they ready, family. They even put the infrastructure for military, food, as far as their hospitalization, medical. Oh, they building, family. They are built. It's so beautiful, and you can invest your pennies in it right now. Yeah. Burkina Faso in the Sahel region, they have their own banking system outside of the world bank system. So they are competition. And it's backed by these same mineral resources and natural wealth, mineral wealth that you hear me talking about now. Go and look it up for yourself. So there is light at the end of the tunnel if you shift your mind and start looking to where these nations and corporations are, governments and corporations are running to. They run into Africa for a reason. You can change the game for yourself today by looking there for a reason, for security. I'll let you know. And with that, peace and blessings, and have a lovely, successful, and prosperous day. This the day the Most High made. Don't let the devil get you down and all they antics. We moving forward, family. And you're going to lose a lot of friends and family. Don't be afraid of that. You're the chosen one. The Most High chose you for that specific reason. Everything that you've been through have shaped and molded you to be able to produce the warrior and the servant to the Most High that you are today. Let your light shine, family. Shalom, peace, and blessings.